a rough trade for Aster. They do manage to actually get Emo, though. I think that's definitely worthwhile, even if you trade away your puck there. But a lot of big plays coming out there. I think the one big one was Fade stealing those kisses. He does manage to get it off, and that just turned to fire. That counter initiation coming out from Aster, cleaning up there. IG gonna have to be really careful about the positioning on Kaka, because that spell is just too potent to get away, especially in Rubik. Just gonna enjoy casting that from far away. And he's gonna have it for next fight. It's gonna be while it expires, unless they can punch and kill Fade off the bat. Gonna have to play against the kisses.
Certainly a big deal. That's on Fade. Again, one of those very dangerous big players. Just stacking up to the side of Aster. Emo's up. Not exactly skyrocketing, because he is 500 gold ahead of Morphin, which is very nice. Still though, I mean, it does require a lot more to be as effective as the Morphling, I would argue. So, Emo, I guess, to try and speed up a bit with this farm. To be fair though, he has been getting involved in the team.
Yeah, it's not been as much of an AFK farm fest for Emo. He has been helping out every now and again with that Stone Gaze. And in that mid-fight, of course, he did sacrifice himself there. But you are seeing the tier 2 items come out now. I believe we did see the Philosopher's Stone come out. Was it? Yeah, you had a Philosopher's Stone for the dark side, so one of these supports should be able to get some gold up. Unfortunately, no one picking that up just yet. And of course, a couple more items coming in. Big one is that what's that? The apple that you mentioned was although wait.
Stampede, Kaka getting caught out. He is there, still in trouble and success. Gonna be there with the hoof stop and Fade. Will pop the kisses.
Oh god.
On fire right now, he's just burning. Chicken.
Ooh, dangerous. It's the power of that kisses. They do steal it out and change to the Mystic Snip. So, I want to point out, Kaka is actually level 9, and in that fight, XXS was still level 7, so support snap bar actually being that much higher. They smoke up IG.
Do they find the S-Triple T would be great people, but they're going to get that cool on first. JT, none of the so do they have the damage output? It's not quite there. S-Triple C, he does get stunned at the last minute from Ollie and does go down.
Yeah, big punishment coming out here from IG. The one kill they really needed to take, and that is going to keep that Morphling just a bit more in check. He is saving up for his evil now. So the more you slow this down, the longer it's going to take until he's going to be showing up in these fights. And that is an opening as IG keep going.
Chain cross, isn't it? Oh no. It's not a very good situation for the side of IG. It's drops back in from Call as well. There's the kids are flying out from Kaka. Stones as well from Emo. They'll find the glitch, but they do lose 3 of their own in the process.
Oh. Yeah. It looks like they still want to go. They do have the kisses on. Fade is on a bit of a cooldown, but just gonna posture out. And again, a rough fight for IG. They force it in a really tight spot. They don't manage to dodge out on that Lich ult, and it does way too much damage to IG. They're punished hard. Aster are gonna be very happy. 5 to 11, 18 minutes in. They don't have the network play though. That is down to the fact that Emo is pretty much heading for it and really just above and beyond every single heat right now. But when it comes to the control, when it comes down to that momentum in this game, Aster, it does feel like they're getting a lot more out of this map.
Fly, making a bit of chase on Schwan lane. Won't get there though. He's very good with the blink. In fact, he has almost about enough ult for that Yules. Puck is about to hit that one of those power spikes where you just can't kill the damn god. See, closer and closer to the Ethereal Blade on the morph. Very nice right now. The behind on that Medusa is by about 2k. Speaking of Emo, going to that tier 1 mid tower himself. Trying to get this time for Aster as Bretzby's is behind. He'll get the lift off. XXS with the move stop it now. The kids is flying in with the chain cross. All the matters on the is Emo. He's in trouble. but the Stone Gaze allow him to run off and be safe.
That is a lot of spells going out to commit to that, and that's going to be a bit rough to counteract. They've got their own kisses up on IG's side. They did expand the gaze, but I don't think that's as pertinent as the Wukong's command and the Mortimer kisses. So they're going to have that for their tower defense.
Fire blast taken by Fake now. Looking to pick up a hurricane like it seems. In fact, I think his courier may be flying. No, that'll be fly. See a smoke from IG. They're gonna find Aster. See again will be a test that they can get. He has no idea this is happening. They have vision. They do an outbound strike, and there's the duel. AT again, just on point, and Kako just blows him up. My God, real that looks like, I guess.
I mean, that was a full Achi morph, so just 600 HP on SCCC. Gets punished, but he is farming up. He thinks he's safe. Not quite. And IG managed to find a nice good kill. I want to point out something about Aster right now. They've got their neutral items up and running, yeah, but no one has picked up the Philosopher's Stone and the Vampire Fangs. Now, I get the Vampire Fangs perhaps, but that Philosopher's Stone would be good in Boboka. He keeps the Iron Talon instead, so... You know, just want to chop some creeps, I guess, at some point. I guess the armor's nice. You reckon mana and gold's good, though, on a lich.
Yes, it's the Bojo. The top lane, they are going after somebody. Command Jewel coming, cut straight on the Centaur. Get burst down XXS. So the Monkey King, low fly is surely going to go down and does as F666 comes in. JT trying to get out of there now. He almost found Twan, but not quite as the Mystic Snake. Find the kill. He's one of those Rubik cases. He just always seems to have the right spell available.
Definitely. On point there. They do give away dual win, but again, that's 2 heroes they punish for, and 2 very big heroes, especially that Monkey King. Progression on fly has slowed him down. He's not quite matching the pace of the opposing course, although he's not too far behind the Morphling even. Still, don't want to be bleeding gold like as Monkey King. You know, you're gonna have to give space to the Medusa no matter what. Whether you want to or not, you're not going to have as much space to farm up because you've got Medusa. It's just going to be clearing all the camps, it's going to be clearing all the waves. So you can't afford to really bleed out like this towards Aster.
Another pause coming out from RG, my fly. Maybe a bit of light coming in. I've seen that over the past couple days, just short spikes. It'll be too long, I'm guessing. Yes, we'll see. It's about another K for that Ethereal Blade to get that shock up more. Of course, with that Ethereal Blade, you should just be able to burst down Carter every team fight as soon as you can find it. I say that. The Glimmer Cape is there, which may make it a little bit harder as it blocks so much magic damage. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, never mind.
If a 12 break.
No.
Nothing wrong with that. But, you know, I want to point out as well, not only do they have the 1 Glimmer Cape on Kaka, you're going to see Glimmer Cape up on Ollie relatively quickly as well. Does have the Shadow Amulet up and running, so you're going to have these saves now from IG. And looking at the neutral item equips, they actually gave Fly the Pupil's Gift instead of Emo. Emo is carrying the Vampire Fangs. I feel like you should swap it around. Like, the lifesteal is pretty strong on the Monkey King just to help himself jump back up. And the secondary stats are just way too good on the Medusa. You just really want to be tanky early on. That's one of your biggest issues. I don't think the Monkey King is much of a need.
I guess
although
maybe you could make the argument because King's frontlining to JT. Maybe you could claim that.
That works. Smoke up from Aster.
Yeah. They love to find Emo. That's the main priority target. Of course, it's the main fear in the later stages of the game. Emo getting too big on that boost as time goes on. He is going straight into an Eye of Scardy net, so there's never been enough time to find him, but they'll pop off first. Fatal lift off, XXS to the follow-up start. It is a very, very simple kill onto Ollie. Definitely not exactly what they want to do.
No, definitely not, and that is going to give some space to IG farm the opposite side of the map. TV's coming out to deep push the lanes though, but going to be going for those outpost captures as well. And just kind of take over here for a while as Aster now trading outposts as well and just finding some farm where they can. Although their tier 2 might be under. Fortunately, the creep wave is pretty far out.
Jumping through the tree line, getting prepped for that tier 2 push.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Won't come
under
to
attack.
farm, but they're south right now. Chuan gonna jump forward. Can't finish. Is there in perfect timing. And now Dream Call. They're gonna try and initiate on the side of Aster. Stampede straight onto JT. Roll up the commander, and everyone else is just trying to run away. But they're out fly as well. He gets lifted in the tree. Chuan is there with the follow damage. It's Triple C. And it's going to be a double kill for the Morphling. It's Alter trying to get a smoke gank going.
Yeah, I like this reveal coming out from Aster. That's the E-Blade reveal from SECC, and one of the more effective reveals we've seen in a while. Just managing to blow up 2 pretty good heroes. So he's going to be very happy with himself as he progresses. Of course, is starting to really lag behind that Medusa. That is to be expected. Emo's just kicking up the farming phase, working towards that Eye of Scotty. Not going to be too long until that brightens up. He will have to bleed some space to give Medusa time here.
He's just jumping through the trees now. Motion. The ball double damage back in. He just found it as well. You just can't get any luckier than that. That's not. Yeah. IG are somewhat aware that this is happening. Can we make something happen? The kisses in the lane, but look at Fade. He jumps through the trees, he steals the kisses away from that fire, and now he'll have it available that they could jump, trying to fight Rubik, get him out of his team fight, but he will survive. And now Emo takes over the Roshan pit. He's still have this kisses on Fade though, but he comes slowly now. Jumps in and finds the Aegis, takes it away from IG. Still Emo gonna try and fight, but he's will be out of mana. And now Jewel from JT, Chuan almost about to drop. He will. Here comes flying by with the Wukong's command on XSS. Chuan is about to respawn on that puck. Can't make any plays happen. He'll finally at the least. IG still end up winning out that team fight. They actually demolished the whole of Aster, even on the Aegis. Looks like SCCC ended up melting somewhere along the line.
Yeah, he jumped in. He didn't manage to morph out of Agi. Like, he got controlled up in there. So he was just blown up. He got the E-Blade up, so he had a moment where he was alive, but that was it. Like, it's these slightly greedy plays from SCCC. I think it is costing them just a bit. Gotta be able to teeter on the edge there here. Nonetheless, that was a very tight spot. Of course, the Roche pit got so much going on in the background. You know, really good steal coming from Chuan. At the very least, he doesn't lose his life for that, but you lost 4 heroes. Basically, not counting the Aegis. You lost 4 heroes, you did take the Aegis away, so you don't have to worry about that second life on IG's side, so I suppose that is still a win.
For a blink down a bot lane, couldn't quite find Chuan in time. Chuan was already orbing away. Nice little item being picked up there from Emo. Now, Titan Sliver. I'd argue is an amazing item of the Medusa at the same least. Plenty about resistance coming out for that Medusa, so even harder to kill. But as we saw in the last team fight, as long as Fade does steal those Mortimer's kisses, Emo's banner just dissipates. It does not exist.
It's gonna be rough, right? Like, that is one of the easier spells for Fade to really steal, even if it's all the way at the back. He just jumps in and he can somehow get out of there. So you've got to be really cautious about how to go Ollie.
Sentry got that back at the exact right time. The Robert gun gonna slow him up, and SCCC gonna clean up. What time from Fade to drop the sentry on the cliff.
Just unfortunate for Ollie being caught out like that. Gets punished hard. Still, not the biggest loss in the world for IG, right? That's Ogre Magi, bottom of that word, isn't really going to miss out on much while he's dead. Like, he's basically at this point just there for bloodlust on the Monkey King, and perhaps the occasional stun. But that's as far as his utility goes for now. And Aster just going to use that time to farm up. are slowly building up on SECC. You know, he's progressing into his Lincoln Sphere. Once that's up,
Middle tower is
you can't just jump him and duel him up. You're gonna need something to break that off first. Could catch IG by surprise the first time it's used.
Sure. Verifies as well, which is you know, an utilized item on Morphling, right? Because generally speaking, with Max Agi, he has low HP, so those verifies really do a lot more than you're used to seeing being a morph. See, illusion for him. Either, or at least Emo pushing up that top tier 2, but his whole team is smoked all around him. Emo free to tower, and I believe Aster are very aware that's just a very obvious bait on the Medusa.
Yeah, nah. They just spend that time farming up elsewhere in the map. They have to sack that tier 2, but not too much lost out there anyway. It's not like Aster himself playing that area anymore. And that mid tier 2 is something they'd have to bendo. Without that mid tier 2, they're not gonna have easy access to the Roche Pit. And if IFG does force to choose to force that out, you're gonna have to respond in kind. They can afford to give this one for free, but they still are pretty scattered around.
dire structures, unfortunately.
Fate has vision of him.
Tower is under attack.
You have an observer board scatting all this, so they know exactly where I be.
Bottom tower has
Just staying away for now though, Aster not looking to initiate. And flash we see it after Baboka. Baboka will force up an S-Triple-C, Ethereal Shocker, blow him up.
Flipped creatures.
Oh, that was quick. There was a BKB available on the monkey, but he did it. Now Juan going in more, he has Dreamfall available. The community action base him in again. Chain Plus being thrown around, the Boots are losing a hell of a lot of mana. More kisses to fly out. Still, Emo surviving, but the gate's coming out from now. Emo trying to match up a bogey, find the kill. But he does go down in the process as well. Was trying to find more, but couldn't quite get the Snapfire TP cancellation. Now 2-4 trade, 2 cores for one sport. You can't complain about that.
Now Aster's gonna be very happy with the kills they found, just managing to punish IG once more and pushing them down while they are still pretty darn strong. If IG would have the Aster, of course that would be a different story, but they lost out earlier on. So their mid tier 2 is gonna get shoved in, and IG without Medusa probably not gonna feel as comfy in trying to contest.
They won't. I mean, we question that allowing their team to go down. Obviously, it pays off quite well. Well, we'll see what next week. In fact, we already know it's going to be a satanic for the Medusa. She does feel the necessity to be able to reset herself during a team fight, which is fairly standard, I guess. I mean, her mana pool is not lasting whatsoever.
No.
Once they jump her and throw all the spells out, it's just gone.
Yeah, it's not much to speak of, and it certainly does take away from the potency of a hero when you're really squishy. She just gets focused down by every single spell on Aster. We saw that a while ago. The shotgun came out, the stun, double edge, the chain frost even coming out on the Medusa just to secure that kill, and the gaze. Everything they could throw, they did throw out to Emo. So just that satanic should help. I'd say I'd like to see BKB for Emo. Just keep himself safe, negate the damage coming out so far from SCCC. And you're gonna be happy still. Panic is gonna help out, of course. It will be a while until that's up, though. IG looks to perhaps play the slow game as Aster. They have a slight lead, 1k advantage. There is smoke from IG though.
What they get done with this. It's gonna be on the front lines and still has this 10-second BKB charge. The 5 seconds for the Centaur. But you know he has backup behind him, and I believe this may be a little bit of a bait from Aster. They do back off. Tuan is at the bot lane split pushing right now. We're gonna keep moving forward. But they'll just get back to farming. Aster do not want to try and force a team fight yet. IG get nothing for their smoke.
Yeah, but looks like it's Aster's turn to smoke up.
Aster can find something out of this. They know exactly where IG was. IG did take their outpost. Run south now. Not really going west yet. There's the line drawn out. That's the way they want to go. Still they're all along, it seems. No, they'll follow it. Mo is waiting behind round. They fast, they jump in fade. He gets the lift into the hoof stop. Mo is at the cape there. Con's command, Fly, wanting to find SCCC needed to get the hell out, but Fly is on the case. He has a BKB, so he's not very afraid. If they keep moving forward, JT, he'll get Jewel off. The kiss is flying in. It looks like they will get SCCC. And Aster losing 3 with no buybacks.
That is massive. That's going to open up high ground here for IG. They're not going to care too much. They're probably not aware the buybacks are off, though. Especially in that morph, but they're looking strong. They did not expand the store gaze, so they're just going to go for it.
They can go for T-Force right now. If they can figure this out, JT, thought about it. And go for the secondary racks. Playing it safe. They know they have the ultimate game in the boost. They won't be able to grab the third rest though, as there is still T1 and T2 at the bot lane. But they're more than happy with this. As just a few moments ago, it felt like they were behind. Now, very, very ahead.
Definitely are. They do manage to take over that jungle as well. This is going to secure the next Roshan, which will be up in a minute. And Emo now hits that level 25, so plus 1,000 mana, 3,000 mana on top of 2,000 HP, and IG haven't pulled it out. They can keep going.
Not is there immediately on to the central, and he drops a great as he's gone. What do we do now? Is Roshan available? Not quite. It'll be 30 seconds. Centaur will have about 10-second difference before he respawns when that Roshan comes up. Emo though, understanding it's coming up soon enough, so they're going to stay around the pit.
A prize.
Another 10 seconds now as the courier will continue to scale out. Do have a pause, and yep, the lab core has been made.
Gonna be a rough time for Aster. They can't afford to give up that next Roche. They do lack buybacks on their own side. They've got to try to make a big play there. Specifically which one? They need to get him to go in with a Dream Coil. They need the Stampede to go off at the right time. Perhaps get a big hoof stomp as well. Disarm Emo. He's causing a lot of issues now. He's got the MKB and Butterfly up. Opted to skip that Satanic first, and it keeps doing so much damage. Like, you can't even deal with a guy right now. He makes your Centaur, who's supposed to be super squishy right now, in comparison to Emo. Emo just cops so much. And now he's just not dying. They spot Roche out. After.
That Boca. He poured out a bit, looking forward. Emo gets lifted though from Fade, but there's the Purge. Emo going to continue for Baboka. They'll ghost form him up. Will survive. Juan in a position to jump in, but they just had their Centaur respawn. So instead IG, they're going to go for the Roshan. The whole of Aster are up for a team fight if necessary. Are they going to make it in time? Smoke now. Roshan already less than half HP. I don't think they'll have the time to jump in here. Emo. Juan, he gets in. Does he steal it? No. Emo picks it up immediately. Now that the team fight. X is the first target of the Centaur. Stone gate being popped immediately from the Medusa. They'll stampede and just try to get away, but there's the JT just on point. They'll find one of their drop, and it looks like Triple C trying to go after Karka right now. We'll jump back in. Karka survived throughout all this. Gets healed up now. Kisses from Fade. He'll survive. Emo moving forward, trying to find another target. Ollie. Can he find a stun? Who have they found? The poker. He goes down. They'll go on Morphling now. He does have waveform, so he should be okay. But no. Fly jumps straight on top of his head. Balance strikes there as well. He needs the man. He wants to run away. Goes form TP. They don't have a cancellation. And so he will barely get out with his life intact, but it is a 2-for-1 trade. Buyback being expensed by Kaka. I did get the Aegis.
They're going to be extremely happy with that, of course. They've got the Aegis and the cheese, which will not manage to pick up either. So it's a rough time for them. Fortunately, as we mentioned earlier on, still a tier 1 to go to, and Baboka kindly informing us of the road timings.
Thank you, Boca.
It's good for us to know. Still, tier 1 gonna go down just fine. 2 siege creeps, and what's up to be, what, 6 range creeps. These towers are not gonna hold up for too long.
No, definitely not. Not with the double damage of the Medusa. Emo. No point stopping now. Straight towards tier 3. Aegis. Very tanky Medusa. They do use up. But we'll be fine with that. Let's just work hard. At least they both double damage. Slow things down. Another Ghost Storm coming out, and now a success. Hoop stop is there. Emo still
no damage.
One bit of this. No, there is the Spline Fly. Looking to jump in. They break the linkers. Now the Pulse Command, they don't have the damage, so he's morphing strength. Or do they? He's falling out. He's on. He does bump back immediately though. But they found both under the lich, and there's the GG call. Fade has had it all. And just take the game away from the side of Aster. Best 3 series.
I mean, it looked good for Aster early on, right? They were in the leading kills. They were trying to find their splitting matchup that they wanted. They were applying a good amount of pressure up until the 15-minute mark. The biggest issue they had was that they could not keep Emo in check. Sure, they killed him like once or twice, but then they
Radiant team, Baron. Dire team, Baron. Radiant team, Baron. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. Dire remaining. Baron. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team, Baron. Dire team, big. Radiant team, big. Ten seconds remaining.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are here for game number 2 of this best of 2 series between Team Aster and Invictus Gaming. It is, of course, MLP Dota, and as you can hear, John expired. John, how are you, my good sir?
I'm doing well. Game 1 was a pretty darn good showing from IG Aster. They've got to kick it up a notch here unless they want to be playing another best of 3, which I believe is happening tomorrow, not today. So Aster gonna have to pull out all the stops to force a game out. IG, they've got the lead. They must be feeling good about themselves. That last game was pretty dominant, I want to say. Took them a while to come online, but Emo had all the space in the world to get his Medusa up and running. So let's see whether or not Aster does shake up their draft. I don't think it was necessarily a draft issue. It was really down to just giving Emo too much space. SCCC hit his timing all right, and they did go hunting early on. They just couldn't find that big target, and because of that, IG was just very hard to control into mid to late game.
They definitely were. There is going to be a shake-up in the draft, at least for Team Aster. We want to try something a little bit different. If I may comment as well on that previous draft, John, we keep seeing this Morphling pick coming out. It must have a sub 50% win rate in these close qualifiers at this point, right? Like, it must be quite low, because every time we cast it, it seems to lose majority of the time.
Yeah, it's been a rough showing for that. It's just... there is a certain element that it does bring for your team, of course. A lot of people are just kind of used to playing it, so it's not too unusual for it to come out still. Has continued on to Shaker Legion Commander out there for Aster. It's their turn to get that Legion Commander spin now. They want to try to escalate through there, but IG, they take the Morphling for themselves. They want to show SCTC how that hero is played, it looks like.
I can't say I like it, John. I just talked about the quality of Morphlings. I mean, it's not the players. I just feel like the hero itself isn't fitting the meta. It's just taking too long to come online, and by the time it does, even with the Ethereal Blade, it doesn't really feel like it's paying off. Nevertheless, IG feel confident enough to run it, so we'll see how they do perform. Of course, it is up against the Earthshaker this time. So
Yeah,
you
so-
do have that automatic combination with the axe.
Yeah, like not even. I don't think you even need the Ags when it's an enemy shaker. You could probably just morph into him straight away. Although if you wanted the Ags upgraded enchant, of course you're gonna have to invest that yourself. Still, excuse me. You know, sometimes when water goes in the wrong pipe, like it tends to hurt that throat, and you know my body's dumb enough that it tries to get in the windpipe. Still, morphling against shaker. It does take some farming up to get the Ags up if you really want the enchant. I think you get a lot of value from just getting a free ride to be that Grid Shaker. Still, I think the biggest issue here for that Morphling is going to be that Legion Commander. We saw in the last game from IG. JT just getting the jump SCCC every single time, keeping him in place. And the rest of this team having enough damage to counteract that Morphling. This is something IG will have to be very cautious about, as they did pick it into the LC this time. So they should know what Aster wants to do with that Legion Commander. They know that the primary target will always be that morph. Are we going to be seeing any sort of support to mitigate that from happening? We could possibly see something like the Oracle come out with the Lich, just to give this Morphling a bit of an easier time there. That is an option for IG if they so opted to. Aster immediately into that Vengeful Spirit. So they've got a game plan in mind. That's a hero we haven't seen too often coming out here in the qualifiers. And I feel like it's still a very strong hero in the right lineup. This one is not quite feeling like that just yet. You don't have anything that can really maximize the aura from the Venge just yet. Although the minus armor is really good for the Legion Commander. And of course the follow-up stun onto Morph after the duel is darn good. You can save people out as well. So that they've got that going for themselves on Aster. A lot of potency there, a lot of ways to set up into this duel. IG, are they gonna invest in something to save their Morphling? Are they gonna go with something like the Oracle here?
I wonder. They have the option if they wanted to. It doesn't really fit the lineup though. Like, you've already got this very squishy POS 5 glitch. Generally speaking, don't want to have a POS 4 Oracle going as well. It just feels like a very passive lineup. If they did go down that route, they'll go for the Puck for now, and as we know, it's a very versatile hero. It can be played as a core or as a support. Nice little pickup there from IG. Also, as you know, I mean, the Dream Call into a team fight, it's just too damn good, and the silence on heroes like the Earthshaker, John, just essentially deletes the hero.
Yeah, it's a great pick here from IG. I think it works quite well with what they have on hand, especially that Lich, right? You force people to stay clumped up or break and stun themselves, or caught stun. Still, what is this mirror match of Aster picking up the Medusa for themselves this time around? That's something that builds off of the Venge, and we know what the hero can do. We saw Emo play it quite well last time. Now Aster wants to show IG how to run this lineup with the Legion Commander Medusa.
Not sure if that's necessary, as IG did win the first game, but perhaps they're taking notes out of the IG book, and you know what, maybe it would work if we ran that. IG, though, considering they just ran that lineup, should know exactly how to counter, and well, there's the Nyx Assassin, right? It used to be a direct counter towards heroes like Medusa. It still kind of is, it just isn't as popular these days, but it can still be a very, very devastating hero in the right hands.
It definitely can be. Still one of my favorite heroes. Of course, it's just been kind of out of meta for a long time, but I remember, in just a bit of a segue, I remember one of the first times when I actually started trying to play Dota properly. And one of the streams I watched was like PPD, and he was saying Nyx support. In my mindset that time, like years ago, we're talking a long time ago, my mindset then was, you know, like the Dota 1 gameplay of Nyx, which is he's a core assassin. You know, you build Dagon, play mid Nyx, and that's the first time I saw him as a support, and you know, it does work quite well. I like it in this context for IG. You have a lot of spells to really counteract. I think just managing to cancel out the fissure if you're on point is big enough. With your Spike Carapace, of course, the vision that Nyx Assassin will give is the big one. You can keep track of the Medusa. It's going to take a lot of resources from Aster to track that Nyx Assassin. You're going to have to drop a lot of sentries to make sure that the Nyx is not going to find the Medusa, and that's always going to be a constant worry. Nyx can take care of that hero quite well.
Again, just a quick PSA, John, just based off the story you just told. If you are a Nyx Assassin player, don't For the love of God, do not play Cornix, and if you are going to play Cornix, don't rush Dagon. Medium Hammer is infinitely better. No, John, I've had enough of these damn Nyx phones. They buy Dagon and they do nothing in this game, and I'm so sick of it. Buy a Meteor Hammer. You can have like 7 seconds worth of stun. Just buy the Meteor Hammer.
It was the Dota 1 days, dude. You remember when you play in Arena, you'd go in, you'd call the host a noob, you tell him to tunnel, and if he doesn't do it, he's a freaking noob. You insult the host the entire time you play, you pick picks, you go down mid, you rush your Dagon, you lose the game, and you insult the host once more. Those were good times. Those were good times, Dota 1. I miss it. I miss Garena.
10 seconds remaining.
That was insane.
Because I could never connect to Green.
5 seconds.
I definitely don't miss that. Shout out to Board Aussies though. Anyone that was in the Board Aussie server back in Dota 1. Those were the good old days to me. Still though, IG, one more ban out to come before we get to see how these drafts finish off. The Razor was the final ban from Aster. Naturally, you don't want to have to go up against Razor as an LC. And even Medusa doesn't really enjoy that too much. IG, one more ban.
Dire team.
DK, John, is it an emo Invoker game this time against Medusa? No, it's
No.
gonna be the Conker.
I want the Invoker, but Kunk comes out. I feel like that's the smarter hero to pick up here. Excuse me, for IG. It just gives them a lot more crit, of course. It does make them tankier. Does make them harder to deal with, gives them team fight, which Shoreline does kind of lack. Like, it's not like a Shake coming out here or a Medusa for the Stone Gaze. You've got that Punka now to make it all worthwhile. Of course, you can stop the swaps, just have an X mark, and the swap's not going to do anything to that target. So you've got a way of counteracting that advantage as well. And the time on that here is pretty darn good. You can zone out Medusa if the Medusa's not careful with that spacing. Emo that can just consistently get that done, so I wouldn't be too surprised with this performance there, but sure close it out with the Monkey King. Yeah, it's a solid set of picks so far. Aster, it feels kind of awkward when the drafts are just. It feels like we've done this before, you know, like when you go with this kind of draft mimicking the course. We've definitely done this before. The only difference is the supports. We'll see if Aster can get the job done here, as we are looking at a mid lane Monkey to face off against Emo's Kunka, and SCCC will be playing the Medusa.
Unlike that last game, these 3 calls, the counters are there. I mean, Nyx Assassin against Medusa, Kunka is there for the Legion Commander duel. Just throw the boat in and suddenly the LC does no damage.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't know how I feel about it for Aster. I've got to say IG's draft, although it is a bit how's it going, it's a bit arguably out of meta. I got to say it does incite a little more confidence in me. Still, perhaps Fade with the Earthshaker could show us some special plays. I'm sure he will, in fact. Game number 2, though, about to begin. Team Aster playing for their lives in this series, essentially. They need to win this game to try and force it to a game number 3. IG would love to go for a 2-0 victory and get straight to the major if they could. We're going to find out if they could. In about 5 to 10 seconds, game starts, after the draft screen is done.
Yeah,
Never
overall.
it just keeps going.
Nah. It always does, you know, when the drafts are straightforward, it just wants to linger just a bit longer. Still, overall, I will have to favor IG's draft. You mentioned counters are there from IG. In fact, even at Kunka, Monkey King into Kunka, Chuan's not going to have as free of a time running around. You can just mark him when he tries to run away. You can scout him out with a torrent and freeze. Oh, excuse me, my body's just not respecting my demands at all. But, okay. Kunka up against that Monkey King. Of course, a laning phase. Monkey Kings can still play around at, but you've got Tidebringer, and that is mostly enough to keep that hero in check. Again, the torrent for scouting out as the game goes on is probably the big thing, right? Like, you want to make sure the monkey's not going to be able to jump around trees, and you've got a pretty darn good way to scout around. It's nothing as potent as the Venge wave, though, but it still does get the job done. You've got the puck to scout out as well. So overall, I think IG is definitely much more geared out to deal with Aster repeating IG's draft this time.
Gonna show up in the Dire jungle. Steal up our post as per usual. X says he'll be the one to take it. IG. Probably the exact same thing. Team setting up for those two bounty runes. It looks like there'll be really no contention here between the two teams, as SCC is definitely not going to try as a Medusa level 1. Interesting to note though, they put the Medusa down the bot lane. I guess it's fair enough. Like Chuan on the monkey, pretty darn good in that mid lane up against the.
Yeah, they are just going that route. I think monkey downstage, Medusa down mid. Just not gonna happen in this case. It is a bit rough for Medusa to face off against that Kunkka. It's much easier for you to spam out that early Tideburner. Of course, you are seeing Fade go to creep box. Top lane gonna be a bit easier for Aster to deal with, as do see some good block coming out from Fly. Like, is keeping his creeps in check. Still not be as good as full block from Fade. And it does look like an early trialing up top. And try to find that first blood first.
They will. Of course, Firefly going to be very low in HP thanks to that Agimorph. Man, Firefly is blocking like a god right now. Keep going, Fly. You can do it. Fade is... No, Fade's still at his tier 1. In fact, it's XXS taking over. This is going to be a very, very nice lane start for the side of Aster, as they will have creep equilibrium. And yet they'll go for the first blood now. Fade moving in, they see Ollie. Ollie is definitely the easiest kill, and he does get blocked up. The Berker with the follow-up stun. Do they have the damage? They certainly will. Ollie is surrounded, and Fade will be the one to pick up the first blood. Will immediately TP down to that bot lane.
It's a good start here for Aster, just managing to give themselves a nice injection that is going to make our Lich just a bit more cautious, as he is have to TP back in to help his more fun. Still, Fly is too bad. Like, he is shoved out just for now, but he has a pretty big wave coming in. 2 ranged creeps to farm for himself as well. Overall, just a bit of a back and forth there.
Wonder if they're going to be able to shut down SCCC at this bot lane. It's a bit hard to as the Medusa. Like, you are squishy at the start, but he does have a very early point in mana shield, as expected, and Karka and JT. See how aggressive they get down this bot lane, but I imagine they should have a decent enough time farming up, although mid lane I can't say the same for Emo, as he does get Bishop blocked up by Fade, and the body blocks will allow the Jingu Mastery proc, though that tree actually saving Emo. Fade will pick up the kill. Chuan having a few difficulties around this one big tree here, but he does find the kill in the end. JT though, bot lane falling very low, and does go down to SCCC. Very aggressive play coming out from the side of Aster.
Yeah, Aster's early movements really starting to pay off here. This is the complete opposite of game 1 with what IG did in their early game. So Aster is maximizing this kind of definitely do trap up Ollie once more.
Doesn't get quite the perfect block. He will allow Ollie to get out, but Fade is just all across the map, trying to set up as many kills as he possibly can and see where the next one's going to be. Looks like he's setting up for mid. They get Emo again. He just respawned and TP back to the T1. Chuan has healed up, so yeah, he's going into position. Bishop will be there, and it's perfect Emo. Exactly the same way. He's going to have to run to that tree line. TPs are coming in. Chuan, he has Boundless Strike and does commit Emo. So darn low. Fade, can he find the kill? Chant Totem was not enough, but one more would do it, though no. The sound will come out, and Fade should pay for it this time. Emo gives him the tip as he walks off.
Oh man. Oh man, that was close for Evo though. Admittedly, you know, that wasn't a sure thing for him. Still, they managed to punch that rotation. It did 2 supports coming in there, so that does mean the side lanes are going to struggle just a bit more. But as long as they keep this aggression in check, I think Emo is really the hero to watch out for. These side lanes don't require too much for him, except for the Morphling, but Emo is their tempo setter, so they need to give him the space he needs, give him the mid-game items he needs, and then he can start repaying that investment.
It's going very well for Aster, apart from that one mid ES kill, but Aster has had another very successful start in game number 2. Everything going okay. They haven't really been able to slow down Fly though on the Morphling, to be fair. He's 21 last hits, 8 denies. Top of the last hits board. And is essentially free farming now as the Legion Commander on its own can't really do much to shut him down. So it looks like they're okay to allow this Morphling to farm as long as their Medusa's farming. But as I say that, SCCC is only on 13-9. So he has been denied quite a bit here from JT on the puck.
Down mid though.
Oh, again, Bishop from Fade. He's going to block the way so Emo can't run up the hill. He wants revenge for that tip. There is an X there on Twan. Emo just holding on the Frost Shield Fade. The Boundless Strike doesn't quite reach, and Fade, is he going to pay for it? Emo will allow him to live. He had Torrent, but he does not throw it out. He just wanted to survive and get back to that mid lane.
These rotations down mid aren't paying off anymore. Like, the rotations from IG are coming out. They're trying to save Emo, and they do every single time. Just having one warrior there does stop that move, and Matt, they're going to try to go for something themselves. Which one? Gotta be a bit careful.
Sure, again from Fade though. He's always in the right position. If Boundless Strike comes in, Torrent will be there from Emo. It looks like they'll back out. Aster won't mind that, so just wasting two of the support's time. As now it looks like Boker going to make his way down bot to go after JT. JT does have the orb available, so he will be able to just jaunt out of there successfully. And everything will go back to being peaceful for now.
Yeah, it's still a bit topsy-turvy here. IG going to be happy with a slightly low bot lane.
Karkar goes for very early Spike Carapace, but Fade once again just in the right position. And well, Mystic Snake will be able to clean up the kill for SCCC. That'll make it a 4-1 now. Slight net worth lead for Aster on the Radiant side. SCCC certainly looking to catch up as fast as possible on this Medusa.
As long as he gets that farm, as long as he gets the space in the jungle, if things go bad, the Medusa can just overtake the game. Given enough time. IG's not to make that easy. Of course, JT has been trying to apply as much pressure as he can. He has been, for the most part, alone to all the rotations down mid, but you can still see it in the last hits. SCCC was behind for a bit. Now he's given enough space to get back up there. 29-14. Not as clean as the Morphling, but certainly up there. Last hits.
Lane, gonna rotate with Baboka. They do spot out Ollie on the ledge. Emo is the real target they want. They'll start with Boundless Strike, but now Karkar comes in. Nice Bishop, but the boat does land on Twan. Followed up by the stun from Karkar, and Twan has nowhere to go. Torrent, enough. Karkar claims the kill on the Nyx Assassin. So these mid attempts now not really paying off for Aster any longer, yet they still continue to make their way there every single time.
Understand the importance of the tempo that Emo provides to the team. I think that's the main reason they're trying to shut him down. They don't need the Monkey King to get these kills at all. Like, he's just trading just fine. In fact, he should be a bit ahead. It's just all these rotations have basically given Emo a good enough time that he's actually farming better than Monkey King. You'd expect Monkey King to have a bit more presence there with his right-click reach and the limitations of Tidebringer, but it's just not happening. And down bot, you do see the support's clumping up. They want to make a move, but that's a level 6 Medusa now. No ultimate up. Still going to be fairly tanky for what she is at this point in the game.
Certainly. Looks like both teams are starting to secure those neutral items. And Emo is farming up the jungle while he can. So mid lane, it's being a bit pushed in though, so nobody really there to clean up that 3-point Karkar. He'll be there to soak some XP. In terms of farm, in fact, they've got DLC now. Nice rotation from JT with the Dream Call. They'll find XXS. But what I was about to say is Fly. He is farming way too well right now. Almost 4k net worth at the 8.5 minute mark. And if you keep this up on Fly, he's just going to get way too far ahead.
Yeah, it does look like he's prioritizing perhaps the Lincolns first. Although he could always just leave it at the Ring of Health and still go for the shotgun build. We have seen a couple players do that. Still, it's been a free farm lane up top. You've seen all the action down bot and mid. But this time around, Aster is ignoring Fly in his farm. Like last time they were ignoring Emo's Medusa. They ignore the Morphling, and that could cause serious issues as he is going to be big. He's got all these items flying out now. He's still free on this top lane. XXX has no one to help him with duel. Although he does have someone now.
They're gonna make the play. They are not. Primal Spring will be to the neutrals. Chuan. I think they maybe could have gone for that. He was quite low in HP, Fly at the time. Now Fly will know that Chuan's there, so there's basically no chance of that happening. Fly will just keep farming up. He does not feel intimidated at all by this, by the presence of MK. Even Chuan not feeling it. He just goes back to the jungle and starts farming up as well. Looks like both teams will remain a little bit passive at this 10-minute mark. Just try to get a few more items up before they start making some aggressive plays. I say that, top lane, Boca, he will get caught out. Green calls there from JT. And it should be a very nice, easy support kill, though I say that. Chuan is coming in. He'll find the trade. Puck. Where's he gone? That way. Ooh, JT does get caught. Looks like he will get caught out. He tried to TP. They knew where he was going, and they will just find the kill.
Yeah, it's a better trade overall for Aster. They do find 2 heroes for the trouble. They managed to punish that puck, and they only lose the supports. It's really not a big deal at all for Aster. Of course, they have to commit with the rotations that will again free up that top lane. Fly not under any threat. He knows that there was movement down bot, so he just gets to farm up. Again, facing off against XXS Legion Commander, who is now 3 levels behind this free farm morph. Level 6 LC up against a level 9 Morphling. Quite the discrepancy there for XXS.
Actually very concerning, the side of Aster. Fly. Looks like he may just go straight into that Linken's. He is queuing up that ultimate orb now. So maybe just feeling like with the Linken's, he could just play so much safer. More risky, I should say, knowing that they can't duel him up immediately. It's already been hard enough for Aster to find the jump on this Morphling. They are starting to rotate though. Chuan again going to be there. This time the focus is going to join, but there is help on the side of IG. They're just on the side now. Do get scanned out. IG, they do start backing off anyway. And Aster, I'm not really sure if you even try for this play anymore. It looks like they will not.
Yeah, and both sides will just, again, go back to farming up. The big thing here is that Kaka has managed to hit his level 6, does have the tome up on him as well. So this is the moment when you see the Knicks really start to go around the map, trying to ensure that the resources from Aster are being extended. You always have to make that. And at some point, he's just going to leave this mid lane and get those rotations done, which can get done quite easily. You've got highly mobile heroes that can follow your pace. Should have his work cut out for him.
But not SCC. JT again gonna back out. Looks like Fade has just been on security duty for SCCC, just making sure nobody gets near him. SCCC does have Mask of Madness. In fact, there's an assassin coming in. Kaka, Spike, Carapace will not stun anyone. Now Chuan looking to make some sort of play. Thunder Strike comes out. There's the Frost Shield. Dream Core holding them all in. It's the Wukong's command and Emo being swooped in as well. He doesn't want to be here right now. The boat flies in with the Chain Frost bouncing around and the Torrent. They're just being held back, Aster. They won't actually find anything and they'll lose their vengeful spirit.
At the very least, Aster doesn't lose a very big hero there. Still, they expend a lot of ultimates. Both sides really expending a lot of ultimates there. Going to be a bit more painful to lose out on that Stone Gaze and Wukong's command. The Wukong's in particular, not a short cooldown, so Chuan gonna have to resolve to just farm that jungle for now. And yeah, at the very least, don't lose Avenge. Not the biggest deal. IG, of course, wanted a bit more. They did go under ward, although Ollie.
They have found Ollie, nice little block, but it is just 2 supports of Aster. They don't really have the damage output. JT looking to move in now. He orbs. Fade will TP, should be successful. There was no dream call anyway. But Firefly is joined in now, so they're going to go for that tier 1 bot push. Firefly also found the top tier 1 tower. So this Morphling has been fairly active across the map in terms of objectives, and he almost has the Lincolns. He just needs about 500 more gold. It's a fairly quick Lincolns coming out on Fly.
Definitely will be. It's going to be hard to play against. In fact, they've got the fade.
Torrent will connect with the extra Nemo, and that's a very easy pickup. Aster not willing to fight, but are they really going to allow this mid tier 1 to go down to the side of IG?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Great that tier 1 up top. We do manage to get Aster. And IG just gonna pull back, not gonna go for that. Although there are still some very far forward movements here. Do see Kaka playing that enemy jungle, saving up for a Yules. That should help him out in setting up for his team. Gonna have a pretty good time on that. Tier 2 items as well coming out here from the neutral camps. A lot more going towards IG, and a couple going to Aster. Of course, that's gonna really help the cause. Some nice tank items going the way of Aster. They've got the Shawl for magic resistance, the Dragon Scale for HP and armor. That's just gonna help a lot towards these tankier heroes. The Monkey King and the Medusa both need to kind of tank up. They just want to be able to stand there and fight. That's gonna help them do that a lot more.
Aster facing Ollie. They do find a nice easy support pickup. Ollie cross shielding. He's surrounded by 5 heroes though, and no Julie Mug. Emo finds that pretty funny. Aster just completely surrounding him. And now they go for more. They do find Firefly under the Morph. Because you don't have that jewel available, you really have no chance of catching Firefly. So he just gets back to farming now.
Yeah, it's still a bit of a scary spot. That was a lot of heroes to secure that 1 kill on the Lich. Aster would have liked a lot more to get there, but unfortunately not finding anyone to punish. Are just going to be forced to play around it. It does leave the top lane to be free for JT to farm. He's saving for his blink there. Once that's up and running, that should allow IG a way to take these fights. It's going to allow them to have this really slippery puck, just ruining that back line. And that's a major issue right now for IG. They have no way of reaching into that back lane just yet.
Yes. Boundless strike is there from Chuan. Wukong's command straight off the bat, but the boat has blown out Chuan. He's falling very low. Torrent, they'll just burst him down with the Chain Frost, but now SCCC wanting to fight with the Stone Gaze. They won't find anyone. Firefly is morphed into the LC, but a nice Fish of Fade holding him down. Firefly will walk away. Now the Dream Call in the back fights too. They come back in. Still SCCC doing a lot of damage. They'll find the Lich, but Firefly burst on XXS. Now the mana is not there for the Doosan. SCCC has been left with Fade. He jumps in with the Echo. Is it enough though? It is not. They're all going to be lost. As it's a 5-for-1 trade for IG. And it just looked too darn easy.
Definitely did. IG just turning that fight on its head. It looked really bad. They got to jump in Aster. They had the initiation with their Monkey King. The matchups just don't work. Emo is Conka. Even if you jump in like that, he's gonna torrent up, he's gonna X you, he's gonna drop the ghost ship on top. Your burst damage is not there. And he's gonna live through that fight. Your Medusa is not tanky enough just yet to take these fights head on as well. All she has is that Dragon Lance and Yasha. And that does not make Medusa a major hero just yet. She's at 9k gold, 1k behind Morphling. You can see Fly, even with just that Lincoln Sphere. It's enough for him to just stand there and fight. He morphs around, he drops some spells from the Legion Commander, right-clicks as Morphling, and he's perfectly fine. He's working his way towards that E-Blade as well. Progression is going steady. Having a pretty good time, I'd say maybe about the 20-minute mark. And once that's up, he can just burst the backline as well. So you're going to lose out on your supports. Oh.
Getting lucky as well.
Chuan?
Top lane. Still up Kaka. Mid lane though, there's a fight breaking out. 3-man Dream Call into the Chain Toss, and now the boat just burst in paid XX and the Boca going down. And he with the old chat once again. Really giving it to him. I've got to tell you, John, he's been very lucky as well. He bumped the Implore, so he has a guaranteed crit with Tidebringer every single time.
That's just such a good item to have on the Kunkka. Look at that, 426 on the illusion. That's gonna be painful. Yeah, it's gonna be painful in the real hero, of course. And you've got to play really cautiously as Aster now. You're losing out on map control. Your ward coverage is now kind of lacking. Like, this is the kind of ward coverage Kaka's Nyx can exploit. As many sentries as you'd expect earlier on. Of course, there's only so many sentries you can plant down nowadays. So this means it's going to be hard for SCCC to play farm. And they are going to smoke up though, Aster. Want to punch somehow. No vision on the opposite side of the map, so this is blind smoke.
They have the Echo and Blink on Fade though. They want to start using though on G have also smoked up, ready to go, knowing exactly where Aster are. Kaka, Vendetta, Emo Smoke gonna break, they're gonna run in, Boundless Strike is there straight on the Nyx, but Torrent does also land on the LZ, but there's a swap coming out from the Vent, both trying to save his teammates, but another nice Dream Caller and Wukong's command, the boat flying in though, connects onto two, Emo, he'll burst out XXS, it's already a 2-for-0 trade, and Aster has to get out. They've got no chance in this now, but Fly, he wants more. They find SCCC in, has the X available. SCCC pops the Stone Gaze. They got the X off. That's all they need. They'll just wait out that duration of the Stone Gaze, and actually the X a little bit too early. You would force out the ball from the vent anyway.
It's a big win for IG. They would have liked to get a little bit more. But, you know, they went out in that fight. We see it again and again. Aster, they had the vision advantage. They had control in the area. They had the high ground. And unlike Obi-Wan, it doesn't work out for them. Anakin actually gets kill at IG, turning these fights on the head. Every time Emo can get that torrent off, their combination just ruined. I think the biggest issue is that Fade cannot get in to get the Echo Slam while the Wukong's command is up and running. If they can't do that, they don't have the burst. If they don't have the burst, Emo is alive and he's going to keep his entire team alive. And that is just going to cause these fights to be much harder than they should be for Aster.
You're going to just claim an easy T2 on or has an eagle song available. No, it's the Ethereal Blade. So things get even more concerning. He's fought very well on the Dukes, but he still finds himself this Morphless Kaka now. Gonna run in, find cameras for Boga, gonna try to stun. Emo is there, they're just chasing crates for that Hussar. But around, he will allow SCCC to walk away. Kaka gives him the tip. It's some ball life for you. You just gotta save your position one every time.
That's the only way Aster can really play that one. I don't blame Boboka, of course. Unfortunate that he's got to have that short end of the stick, but that is, as mentioned, sport life. This will allow RG to go straight into that Roche. Like, shoving that Medusa away means the entire team is just going to be playing on that bot lane. So if you're Roche going away to IG, that just makes matters worse.
Just out of the way of IG now. Fly looking very, very scary at 14.5k net worth. Have a quick look at that win probability and not looking good for Aster. 81% going to the way of IG, which I'd say is fairly realistic at this point. They still have a nice chance back in the game. Medusa is a very hard late game kind of carry, but you've got to get there. Emo, he finds an X on SCCC, throws out a torrent, gives him the crit with the Timebringer, and takes down half his mana. IG will claim tier 2, and they'll happily get out of there.
It's going to be a while until SCCC is going to be a really tanky here to deal with. I think the key point is going to be level 25, of course, when you get that 1000 mana. And that is a long way off. Oh no.
Lane jumping in. It looks like that one finds the Boga. They'll get the kill. Boat Yules is going to be there on the Dukes. SCCC doesn't have any mana available if they can find it. Torrent will connect, but they are going to dive the T3s. It'll be enough. Another support kill going the way of IG. Really, I mean, There's only one outer tower left standing here for Aster, and that's at the top lane.
You're a
Definitely not the
teammate.
terror in the world for Aster, but IG will come back and take it nonetheless, I'm sure.
They've got to probably clear that out first, is giving a bit of an access point for Aster outside the base. If they can secure that tier 2, they've got some good wards up top anyway, and that should allow them to start knocking these tier 3s, especially while they have Aegis. They should get this done while that's up, but looks like they're waiting for perhaps the Ags on the combat, as they do group up top.
Fade the tree line. Kaka, can he find him? There is a sentry ward. Yeah, so Fade will have the upper hand. Kaka? Fade pings him out. Chuan is waiting on the tree line as well, but nobody's really falling for this. They'd love Fly, but he's not going towards the creep wave. Now JT scouting out with the orb. Chuan will immediately go into a tree form. That's not generally how trees grow. JT, does he notice? No, he does not. They're still there. Fade, he's waiting.
For the dead.
Be Echo on the puck. Oh, they're gonna check Fade. He gets poured out. Chuan runs for his life. He knows he can't do anything.
That was a lot of time spent there just trying to find something, and it doesn't come out to much. And we're at the point where XXF found out Legion Commander is actually behind Baka in terms of levels. Like, the core Legion Commander is behind a support Nyx for EXP progression. That's not great.
Lane Chuan. Oh, Remand Dreamcall to start. Fly is there to help out. Chuan does jump in the tree line. Dreamcall will not lead to anything yet, but the rest of the cavalry are here. Kaka trying to find the target, but Boka, the poor man, just standing on the front lines, understanding he needs to die here. Oh, Go comes up from Fade, but it's not really much damage. The boat was already there. Fade trying to remain alive. A lot of damage coming up from SCCC, but a massive torrent storm coming out from Emo. Now the fish are stolen by Fly. They go straight after Chuan. Burst him down. SCCC a sitting duck. He has no mana left. They'll heal him up, but he goes down to triple, and there's the GG. Fade set it up, and it will be IG going to the LA Major as I believe the first team. And what a way to finish. Fly with an ultra kill on that Morphle.
Yeah. A great win by IG, dominant over the series, 2-0 on Aster, 9-24, 26 minutes in. That's Aster trying to run IG's draft against them. Doesn't pay off. IG, they get to go all the way to LA, as we will wait on the next matchup. I believe that series is still going to be